Hello, I'm Tuesday Porygon. Now, I'm doing a remake review of my 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, and Splinter too, of course. I reviewed all five of these guys already with the camera with the terrible quality and whatnot. Remember the extra ninja arsenal I showed you? Well, I'm gonna show them off later. So right now I got all five of my figures and their boxes in the shot. Well, not all in the shot, but all of the figures at least. So yeah, we got Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, and Splinter. Oh yeah, I told you that these were I think I told you that these were the only five basic figures that I chose to get. So now let's see. Let's start with yeah, let's go for all turtles in order. Let's go for all turtles in order, starting with Leonardo. Here we go, starting with Leonardo, the honorable leader of the turtles. As you all know, Leonardo is the blue masked turtle, and the reptile who carries the swords, the katana blades. That's what they're called. Now, like I did in my other review, I already showed you what the boxes look like, so I'm not really going to be talking about stupid alarm. I'm not going to be talking about a lot of them. Well, talking a lot about them. But yeah, it's got Leonardo's name, and says he's the leader and king of the katana swords. Huh, he's a king, huh? Yeah, like I said, it includes a ninja arsenal. And now, with this camera, I think you could be able to read his bio a little better. And yeah, he's got a pretty good face, and it tells you, like, yeah, he's the team of the Ninja Turtles, and and tells you his weapons. And it shows you all the other basic figures, I guess from the Wave 1. I did hear about the Wave 2 coming out, like, now there's, Metalhead, Dog Pound, and Fish Face. Sorry, I was trying to get the pencil off from under the camera. Yeah, I heard about the new figures, Metalhead, Dog Pound, and Fish Face. Those are okay figures, but like I said, I only went for the 4 turtles and Splinter, but other than that, yep, like I showed you in the other review, it's from the new Nickelodeon show, and it's got all 4 of the turtles on this side. So like I said, there's not much to say about the boxes, since I already talked about them. So let's move on to the figure and talk more about him, shall we? Yeah, I told you all about his color schemes, but I'm going to say it again anyway. He's got his green skin and his blue mask, and he has his brown belt with his sheaths for his swords, and there's his brown elbow pads and knee pads, and the white wrappings around his ankles and his wrists and fingers, and his gray swords, which in the show they have more color and some decorations, like on the handles, or what was it called? Hilts. Yeah, more color and patterns on the hilts, and well, oh yeah, and his the front of his shell is yellow, while the back of him is like an olive green, or whatever you like to call him. Those are all the colors Leonardo has. All right, I'm just gonna call him Leon for short. Now, as you all know from the show, Leon has the katana swords as his main weapons. I already had him posed like he's about to attack, and yeah, you can put either swords in either hand. I usually like to put the longer sword in his right hand, and you can put his swords in the sheaths. Like, yeah, that's one feature that I like about this Leonardo figure, and you can take both the sheaths off as well. I don't think I showed you that in the other review, but yeah, the sheaths are good to take on and take off. Now, like I said in the beginning, I'm going to show you off his extra ninja arsenal. Remember back in my other review where I asked if the extra weapons were removable? Well, they really are. So as you see, all the weapons on this frame, I guess, are gone. But right here, I got his extra weapons. So what he's got here, he's got an extra sword that's even longer than the ones he's got. These ninja stars that look like flowers to me. And he's got these, he's got these knives, I guess you would call them, like ninja knives, which I haven't seen Leon use in the show yet. And I don't know what this part is supposed to be. I assumed it was an extra weapon, but yeah, I don't know what it is. Now I think I'm gonna give Leon his extra sword, his longer sword. Like here, I'll put it in his left hand for now. And let's have his right sword to go with it. Oh yeah, he looks even more powerful with those two big blades. In fact, on DeviantArt, I posted a picture of Leon using a knife as a new sword, like a real knife, like I got from the kitchen. Never mind that. Leon's really pretty good looking with those swords up. I think I'll put one of his knives in his hands. Like here. Yeah, the knives can go on pretty easily. And his flower-shaped ninja stars, I mean, it can go on easily too. Oh boy. Yup, like that. That's how Leon can hold them. So those are really all the weapons Leon has. Yeah, and the extras from the ninja arsenal. I think you can put this extra sword in one of the sheaths, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. It's just a little bit too big. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Let's see. I believe Leon is my second favorite Ninja Turtle. The first being Donatello, and then there's Michelangelo, and then Raphael. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much all I got to say about Leonardo. So now it's on to the next turtle. Here we go. Here's Donatello, my the one Ninja Turtle that, or sorry. He's my most favorite Ninja Turtle, because in the other review I told you that he uses his bow as a weapon, much like Gambit of X-Men. Except Donatello doesn't have his telekinetic powers to make things blow up like Gambit's poker cards. But yeah, I told you I wasn't going to talk about the box as much. All the differences is Donatello's name, and on the very back there's the picture of Donatello and his bio. I'm pretty sure you can read that better than in the other video. And yeah, his weapons. He's got a staff with a blade, and he's obviously on the Ninja Turtles team. Now for Donatello himself, he's pretty much most of his color scheme is about the same as Leonardo's. His shell and from the front and back, though it looks more like a brownish yellow to me. And he's, as you know, he's the purple masked turtle who invents stuff. Like, yeah, he's the scientist of the Ninja Turtles team. Like, you can hear the theme song, Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines. Yeah, he really does do machines, but yeah, in the words of Sean Long, he was like, wait a minute, does machines? I'm a turtle, I can't even do April, let alone machines. That makes no sense. Forget it. Yeah, and the rest of Donatello's, like, his wrappings and his elbow pads and knee pads are all brown, and so is his belt, with the pocket or socket for his bow. And as you see, I already got the bow in his hands. It's actually, to tell you the truth, his bow is actually pretty hard to get in his hands, both of his hands at least. Like, I always get a feeling that the bow's about to bend and break off, like when I try to, I try to put them in both hands, but I did get the bow in both of his hands right now. So yeah, so you can have Donatello hold this bow, if it's easier for you than me, but it's a little hard to get off too. And yeah, in the show, his bow actually has white wrappings around it, and that's what this bow doesn't have. I mean, and one thing I noticed before, long ago, like on Optibotimus's review, I think that was him, that his bow was actually more thinner on this end and thicker on this end. Like it's well, in the show it's actually the same like width and stuff. And his bow's not really as long as in the show, but yeah, you can put in put it in the socket, and it stays on pretty nicely. And now, to show Donatello's extra ninja arsenal, he's only got 4 new weapons. These right here. He's got, this, I think it's a bow with chains. Yeah, it does look, they do look like chains. And there's his extra staff with the blade, which is, of course, brown too, which, it should have been gray, you know? And he's got these ninja stars also. Now, these look more like wheels than, yeah, you know. So here, let's, put the bow with the blade in his hands. I think this one's actually easier to get in than his normal bow. Alright, it's not going through. Maybe it's not easier. I can't really bend his arm any further, but okay, never mind. I don't think I can get in both hands, but yeah, sometimes Donatello ejects this blade. Apologies. He ejects this knife, well, the blade out of his bow. That's to, well, I never really seen him use it very often. Like, I don't remember what episode, but I just wonder why Donatello doesn't use the blade more often. He sometimes breaks his bow more often because it's made of wood. In fact, I seen the episode with Metalhead, and he complains that he can't fight alien technology very good with just a wooden staff. So that he creates Metalhead to fight the Krang for him, and well, yeah, that was kind of one of Donatello's failed experiments because Metalhead was rather clumsy and he got damaged during a battle with the Krang, and one of the Krangs took over Metalhead's controls. And now for this bow with the chains, which I never saw Donatello use yet, I can put this end on even easier because the other end is thicker. But yeah, I don't even know what kind of weapon this is supposed to be. I mean, I don't even understand how Donatello can have chains ejects on just a wooden staff. Or maybe there's something else I'm missing about his weapon. Now let's put his ninja stars in. Alright, get on. Yeah, the ninja stars can stay on pretty good too. And alright, that's I'm sounding pretty. I don't sound very entertaining in this review. I forget what to say and stuff, but that's pretty much all I got to say about Donatello. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. One thing I noticed when I first heard about the Ninja Turtle show when I saw one of the previews is that Donatello is the tallest of the turtles, and I don't really understand that. Usually the 4 turtles are all the same height. Usually I think the turtles are the same height, like in the '80s show, and I think the 2003 show. The 2003 show is actually my least favorite Ninja Turtle series. The first being the forget it. I'm trying to talk about Donatello. I don't really know what else to say, so I think we're now ready to move on to Raphael. So the next turtle is Raphael. He's actually my least favorite turtle because, well, as you know, he's the toughest turtle and the rather hothead of the team. In fact, that's what his box says. And in the theme song, it says, "Raphael is cool but rude, give me a break." Oh yeah. Yeah, he is indeed rude. In the '80s show, he wasn't really as hot-headed as I thought he was gonna be. He was kind of more, he's more of a jokester, like Michelangelo is, but other than that, just like the other boxes, the only difference is Raphael's name, and it says he's the hothead and sharp and the sharp psi expert. And yeah, his bio and the picture of him about to stab something. So maybe you can read the bio, and yeah, it says his weapons are his size and the Ninja Turtles team. Of course, that's what he's part of. So now for Raphael himself, like I said in the other review, he has the darkest skin of all the turtles. Michelangelo has the lightest, by the way, but yeah, for some reason Raphael has really dark skin, and well, as you see, I already got his size in his hands and one between his fingers and stuff, like he usually holds them in the show. And yeah, his shell is more of more like what was it called? Tropical rainforest green. You know, it's a really darker green, even darker than Leonardo's and Donatello's shells. And the rest of his belt and his wrappings and knee pads and elbow pads are all dark brown. And he's the red masked turtle, as you all know. I remember I did hear that there were comic books of the turtles back in the 80s before the 80s TV show was out, and that all the turtles turtles wore red bandanas. And then later they were all wearing different colors to represent one another. I seen a retrospective by Angry Video Game Nerd on Cinemassacre.com where he talks about the entire 80s TV series of the Ninja Turtles, and I enjoy it. Those were really good reviews. And I don't know if I told you this in the other review or not, but Raphael's got this crack on the front of his shell, which I don't know what that's about. Like, maybe it was born that way, or he was I don't know. And his size actually had more colored handles, and well, that's one thing that these size don't have. So let's take the size off now. I always be careful not to break them and whatnot. So yeah, now, and he's got these tiny pockets for the size to go in. They're actually much bigger than in the show, bigger than usual than in the show. But hey, the size are pretty good like that. And now for Raphael's extra arsenal that I have right here, he's got this I don't know what this is. It looks like some kind of hook with a sword hilt or something. And he's got these half size, you know, the ones that are missing a prong. And he's got these, and like the other ones, he's got ninja stars. Yeah, I guess this kind of looks more like a ninja star or something. But here, I'm gonna put his half size in his hand. Hold on, let me get the camera back to standing. I'll forget it. Put this one in. When you put the size in, you want to be careful as you try to squeeze it between Raphael's fingers. They're actually pretty tight, but they can still go on. You just gotta. All right, so that side was easier to get into. So how do you like that? Now Raphael is using only 2-prong size, while he's got his regular size on the back. But yeah, I guess those are good ideas for extra weapons or something. I don't think his ninja stars can stay on his fingers very well because of how thin they are. Hold on, so here, I'll show you getting a ninja star in his hand. If I can pick one up. So yeah, like I said, they don't stay on very well. Like, oh, never mind, one of his eyes fell off. So I guess right now it decides to stay on this hand. Alright, I'm trying to position his arms back correctly. And I guess I'll put whatever this thing is. Yeah, this weapon can stay on his hand pretty good, and I can put it in his hand pretty easily. Like I said, I don't know what this weapon is, nor have I seen Raphael even use one yet, but... So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about Raphael. Like I said, he's my least favorite turtle because of all the attitudes he's got. Like in the 1990 movie, the live-action movie, he's always, like, having an attitude, like he tells Leonardo, "Yeah, Leon, I'm crazy, okay? I'm loony, okay?" Okay, that wasn't very good. Another thing he says, Why? Oh, I don't know. I wanted to redecorate, a couple of throw pillows, a TV news reporter, what do you think?" I do like that line. And, alright, I think that's enough for Raphael. Let's move on to the last turtle. And here we have everyone's favorite Ninja Turtle of all, Michelangelo. Yeah, he's actually the, shortest of the Ninja Turtles. Like, I heard that, Michelangelo is supposed to be the youngest and Leonardo's the oldest. I'm not sure, but So yeah, here on the box, the only difference is Michelangelo's name. It says he's the jokester and whirly nunchuck hero, and I told you that facelift right there is yeah, Mike, you gotta be joking. So if you can read his bio, maybe not, but yeah, those are yeah, it tells you his weapons and the teams and whatnot. That's really all there is to say. Again. So now Michelangelo himself, or Mike, I'll call him for short. As you see right here, he's only got one nunchuck he's holding, while in his other hand he's got his grappling hook from the show. The grappling hook is actually one of his extra ninja weapons from his arsenal. And here's the rest of them he's got. All he's got is the grappling hook and these ninja stars. There are some larger ones and smaller ones. If you're asking what happened to his other nunchucks, well, I broke him, actually. I broke his other nunchucks, but I'd really rather not tell you how that happens. It's really stupid. So I replaced his other nunchucks with the grappling hook. That's I have seen Michelangelo use this a bunch of times, like against Snakeweed or the Krang or whatnot, or against Splinter in the episode I Monster with the Rat King. But never mind that. As you see, for color scheme, Mike has the lightest skin color, while Raphael has the darkest. And as you know, he's the orange masked turtle, and he's got the same color of the back of his shell like Leonardo's and Donatello's, and he's got his brown weapons and his belt and knee pads and elbow pads too. And his nunchucks are all orange, where the chains are usually metal. Are silver, and I believe the handles have more decoration too, like the other Ninja Turtles weapons did. So now let's try to get his grappling hook out of his hand. As you see, he's got two pockets for putting his nunchucks in. But as I said in the other review, they don't go on very well, and that you have to be careful when you put them in his hands and in his pockets. I can only put them in by one handle, as you see here, and I can put the grappling hook in too. I just gotta put the actual hook in, and then I get the handle all the way through. So yeah, what do I say? Never mind. Michelangelo is not really my favorite turtle, but he is Angry Video Game Nerd's favorite, because he's always the most friendly and the most fun. But to tell you the truth, in the 2012 show, Mike is actually rather annoying, because he's always joking around and making up puns, and in the show, he calls himself a genius at naming things. He's always giving the bad guys the names when he should really let them pick for once. Like, if you see the episode I Monster, the Rat King gave himself a name. So yeah, Mike didn't have a chance there. But I prefer the Rat King as his name. That's fine by me. Whereas for other villains, he's the one who named Dog Pound and Fish Face and Leatherhead. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. In the episode in the depths, or I don't remember what it's called. It's the episode where Michelangelo first meets Leatherhead, and he's the one who named him by saying that his head's kind of leathery. Yeah, in that show, Leatherhead didn't have a name until Michelangelo first met him. And I was also surprised that Leatherhead was more of a good guy in the 2012 show and the 2003 show, whereas in the 80s show, he's the villain, and he teams up with the Rat King. And so, I don't really know. I don't know if Leatherhead is supposed to be good or evil. But other than that, that's really... Oh, and you know what? This is one thing I forgot to tell you about all four turtles. It's their articulation. They all have the same articulation. The heads can go 360 degrees. Mike's head is pretty tight, but it can. And the arms go 360 forward and back, as well as in and out. And they bend at the elbow and rotate there too. And the wrist can rotate 360 as well. They have no waist articulation, but that's alright because they're wearing turtle shells. And his legs can too go in and out as well as forward and back and bend and rotate at the knee as well. So I can't believe I forgot to show you that right off the bat. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say about Mike. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you, tell you let's see, in the theme song, how Michelangelo goes. And Michelangelo is the party dude, party. Oh, forget it. I'm not really good in the mood of singing the way Mike did. Let's move on to the final figure, Splinter. And now here's my last Ninja Turtles figure, Splinter, the honorable sensei of the Turtles. So yeah, like always, the only difference, of course, Splinter's name, which of course has no color around it. But yeah, he says Honorable Sensei of the Turtles, and there's his bio. If you want to read that, you can go ahead and see. I think you can read it. It looks pretty good from the way I see it. And yeah, his weapons, his walking staff, his hand's tail, and whatnot. So yeah, let's now show the figure. As I said in my other review, Splinter is too my favorite character, considering his staff came off. But yeah, his only accessory is his cane. But it says on the box that it includes Ninja Arsenal, but that's not really true. He doesn't have any extra weapons, so I don't know what that's about. Now, as I said in my other review, Splinter doesn't have much articulation as the Turtles. His head can go 360. Well, at least I think it can. And his arms, they do go in and out and forward and back. He can only rotate at the elbow. He can't bend there. And his legs can only go forward and back. They can't bend or go in and out either. And his tail can go 360 as well. I mentioned that you have to put the tail on when you first get him. It actually shows here. It shows at the bottom where you put his tail. Well, where else does it go? On his... never mind. Yeah, his cane doesn't really stay on very well. But other than that, the color scheme we have on Splinter, his face is mostly white. He doesn't have that much white in the show. If you can see a difference between the actual toy and the picture on the box. He usually has more black on his face, and he has some pink on his ears, but they're all brown and whatnot. But he does have his pink nose, and there's his white goatee, which I think it was all white. And he does have black going down his neck. Alright, I don't want to keep holding the camera, but. And he has gray on his arms, and he has pink fingers. And his legs are all gray, and his tail is pink as well. And as for the rest, his kimono is all like a reddish brown, though it does have a little bit of black on it. Or yeah, I mentioned before that his kimono, it doesn't come off, and that disappoints me. But it's actually made of a rubbery texture or rubbery material, whichever you want to call it. You can actually I guess you could try to fold this kimono up, but I don't like doing that. If you see off the bottom of this review, at least I think that's where I saw it. Then maybe you know you can roll his kimono up, but I'm not going to do that. So I do like I guess I kind of liked Splinter's new attire in the 2012 show. He actually looks he really did look like he can fight how do I say this? An extreme experienced fighter. He's really good. He's a really powerful against the Turtles, like when they're doing their ninja training and stuff. In fact, like my favorite episode of featuring Splinter was in I Monster. Like I told you, the one that first features the Rat King. And I gotta tell you, let me talk about the Rat King. His attire is like, let me tell you, the creators of the show were pretty serious when they designed the Rat King. He looks like hold that thought. Now, as I was saying, they were pretty serious with designing the Rat King. He looks way scarier than in the '80s show. He actually wears a long black trench coat and wears a hat, and he looks more like a skeleton. You know, I saw the beginning of that episode. He was originally a scientist named Dr. Victor Falco, and then a lab accident happened while he was I think he was experimenting on some rats. And then something blew up, and then he became the Rat King, and he was able to control every rat in New York, including Splinter. And the very end, where Splinter took on the turtles, that was a really awesome scene, trying to get Splinter to snap out of it and turn against the Rat King. Well, that did happen. That was a really good episode, and it was all thanks to Leonardo, reminding him that he is Hamato Yoshi. And that reminds me. I told you that the origins of Splinter in the 2012 show was that he was usually a human being. Hold on, apologies. My stupid cat got into the video, and I didn't want to keep going with the cat interfering. But in the 2012 show, Splinter was usually a human being named Hamato Yoshi, and if you saw the series premiere, he tells you a backstory on how he and the turtles have mutated when. I think it was the Krang that Hamato Yoshi encountered, and then the mutagen has splattered all over him and his pet turtles, and then he became a rat, and the turtles became the mutant turtles, like it was explained in the '80s show. Yeah, the '80s show has that same origin. Splinter was Hamato Yoshi, and he trained the turtles in martial arts and whatnot. Whereas in the 2003 show in the movies, Splinter was always a rat and was a pet of Hamato Yoshi. I told you that was the origin I liked better because it involved Hamato Yoshi dying. But other than that, that's really all I have to say about Splinter. Alright. Yeah, that was it. So there you have it. That was my remake of the 2012 Ninja Turtle figures. I chose to repost the review because of the Ninja Arsenals that I now took out. Well, I took them off the bases, or frames, or whatever you call them. And I wanted to show you how the turtles can hold them and whatnot. And I apologize that I apologize that I broke in one of Michelangelo's nunchucks, but that's not important. And one thing I forgot to mention when I reviewed Raphael is how the way he how do I say this? In the new episode, Cockroach Terminator, he was pretty hilarious in that episode, and it showed that he has a fear of cockroaches, like the robotic roach that Donatello created to spy on the Krang, and then it fell into some mutagen and turned into a monster cockroach that is now after Raphael, and he chases after him by going after the turtles as well. And yeah, I saw the whole episode. He was mad at Raphael because of the way he tried to squash him. So that's where the roach wanted to squash Ralph back. And I think everybody's favorite scene in that whole episode was when Ralph was praying for the nightmare to go away, and then Michelangelo sneaks up on him and says, "And be nice to Michelangelo." And the best part, Ralph turns around, finds Mike, and then he shouts Mike with that face with the huge eyes and the sharp teeth mouth. If you saw the episode, then maybe you saw that scene, because I have no idea how to describe it, but that was totally hilarious. And yeah, that was one reason I say that Mike is rather annoying, and that's why he's not my favorite. But oh yeah, and about Leonardo, one of the episodes where like in the episode New Girl in Town, that's where he first meets Karai, and I guess he falls in love with her, even though she was working for the Foot Clan and Shredder. Oh yeah, and speaking of Shredder, in the episode The Gauntlet, that was an awesome episode, because the Turtles fight Shredder for the first time ever, and that fight was really cool. I just never wanted to stop watching it and whatnot. In fact, Shredder's attire in that show was really awesome too. He's completely not a comic relief anymore like the old Shredder was in the '80s show. He was completely more evil and whatnot. and the blades all over him are really good too. He can even project extra blades from his wrist and stuff. And then there's Dog Pound and Fish Face as his brethren. Uh, they're not really trying to portray Bebop and Rocksteady or whatnot, but anyway, I believe that's all I have to say about my Ninja Turtle figures. I don't know if this is I don't even know if this is better than my other review or not. The camera quality on this review should be better than the other one because the other one had terrible quality, as I already said. But if you do like it, at least I hope you will, then you can prove it to me by commenting, rating, and whatnot. So that's really it. See you later.